Hello everyone, welcome to our Medieval Dynasty Survival Guide. We're talking about building today, in particular how to make building a little bit easier, a little bit faster. There are a few tips that are kind of on the nose, some that perhaps, might not be quite as known. We'll kind of see what you guys think. But these are tips basically just to help make sure that when you are going like on a building spree or something, these tips can make it so that that building is as easy as possible and as fast as possible. Because let's be honest, building can be a little bit of a slog in Medieval Dynasty. Like it's enjoyable. Like I don't mind building at all. But the process itself can take a little bit of time. So the first tip that we have is kind of like how to modify your weight. Because one of like the biggest parts that takes the most time is like taking your resources from like your resource storage to wherever the building site is. So making it so that your weight is as high as possible, your carrying capacity is as high as possible, can kind of like take away that time of you running back and forth between the two because you need to get more resources, blah blah blah. So there's kind of like two ways you can go about this, and that's like without obviously you can always go to customize game and then like mess with these settings obviously. But if you don't want to do that, if you want to play the game in a non-cheat like way or whatever, one of the methods is to obviously use a potion of weight. These potions, they can basically increase your carry capacity. Where are we at here? There we go. By 20 kilograms, and then you just drink that. It is obviously for like a limited time, but building shouldn't take too long anyway, especially if you're literally just using this potion just to bring your resources to the building site. This guy can help you out. So you just down that little bit. That'll boost your weight capacity, allowing you to get most, if not all, of the items that you need at the very least to the building site. So it's like you can do that in like one run basically. And then the other kind of half of that, if the potions aren't quite doing enough for you, then I highly recommend buying either a horse or a donkey. I tend to lean donkey just because they can carry a little bit more than the horse, and then use that as kind of like a mobile resource storage. I'll often like bring my donkey into the storage. I'll get all the resources that I need, put it on the donkey, and then I'll ride the donkey to wherever the building site is, and then I'll just like take the items off the donkey as I need them. And that way, it just completely eliminates the need to run back and forth and all that. So that just kind of speeds that process up. It makes it a little bit nicer, in my opinion. You just kind of take care of that beginning, and then you don't have to worry about that throughout the rest of the building. So that's kind of tip one. Tip two is to use better tools. And obviously, depending on what map you're playing, Oxbow, you have a chance of starting off with like a copper, I think maybe a bronze hammer as well. On the Valley, you're just starting with like your basic wooden hammer. And even when like those tools break, I always recommend just taking like the extra expense on and just buying a better tool. And I usually say either go for a bronze, or obviously iron is the best, but if you can't quite buy the iron hammer, you don't quite have enough money, at least go for a bronze hammer. They last for a very, very long time, which means, you are spending less time having to go rebuild your hammer all the time and more time actually building. So it's like this one little tiny headache that you then don't have to worry about. And you can buy hammers. If you don't have like the schema unlocked at the smithy, you can obviously go buy a hammer. And like I know it's like, oh, I don't want to like buy a hammer, blah blah blah. But like it'll definitely make building just a little bit nicer for you if you just buy it. You know what I mean? Like treat yourself a little bit in this game. And if that means you got to go make a few pouches to afford it, go ahead and do that, because I just think it's ultimately worth it. So better tools, it's just going to make the process so much faster, so much nicer. Now, there are also, tip number 3 here, there are 2 skills that I think are definitely worth unlocking to make this process nice as well. There we are. It's under the production skill tree, and that is Builder Trance here. And what this does is that it actually increases how quickly you are able to build. It increases like your hammer swing speed basically, and it stacks up to 3, so it goes pretty fast. When you're doing that. So like if I were to like bring out my hammer here, like this is like not very fast, right? Like it's like whatever. Now when you complete like a wall, we'll say there's like this wall that needs to be built. Well, it's a whole building, but if we complete like a wall, that's when the trance then activates. So we're going to be swinging our hammer like a lot faster, like all the way around here. And I love using that. I can't wait till I can actually unlock it, because you build literally faster with that skill. So you can get a lot done when you have that skill activated. And that's obviously, you know, again, if you don't have like some of these, because I know there's like these, what is it, like fast crafting, fast building, like that's where it's like a 1 or 2 hit and then it's like automatically done. Obviously you can do that if you want the slightly more, you know, if like, I don't want to call it cheating, because it's like, you know, it's literally just customizing your game to make it easier, which I mean, I don't know, that doesn't quite qualify as a cheat. You might call it a cheat, but it is, you know, it's a bit murky, I feel like. I don't use that. I prefer to just use the skills in the game as is, but that's obviously something you can do if you just want things done in one hit, because you know what, not everybody likes to build. They just want the finished product, and that's totally fine. But the builder's trance skill can speed up the building for those who want to actually, you know, build. The other skill that's worth investing in is the building master, and that's because it reduces your stamina consumption when you're using your hammer to build. And that's important because if the running back and forth between like the resource storage and the building site isn't, you know, long enough, then there's also those moments where you have to wait because your character's literally out of breath and they can't swing their hammer anymore because they're out of stamina, and that just slows the process down as well. And we don't want that. We want to make this as quickly as possible, because that just makes it easier, allowing you to, you know, move on with whatever else you got to do for that day. So investing in the building master and getting that all the way up to 3, I think is just worth it, especially if you do a lot of building, because that just means, you know, you're not taking as much time pausing to breathe and wait for your stamina bar to go up. And you can obviously always augment that further by taking like potions of stamina too. Like if you have like a really big building, like a resource storage or something, and even with your builder's master skill unlocked, you know, you might still be kind of like running out of stamina before you can get this built. It might be worth maybe like popping off like a potion of stamina just to further modify that and make it as quickly as possible. Because then with if you use the builder's trance with the building's master skills, then not only are you building literally faster, but you don't have to stop to catch your breath, because, you know, you have more stamina. So that's just, between those 2 skills together, they work very well together. And like I said, they just make building a lot nicer. Now the last skill kind of has to do with like clearing an area, and this is kind of a skill. This is a tip that I've seen some other players and YouTubers use, and some players know about it, some don't. So I want to make sure that, you know, everybody's kind of aware of this, because it's really nice. I've been doing it for a while too, but basically one of the problems that you tend to have when you are building is that like you'll get like this little message that's like, there's something in the way, and like then you have to like go find out if it's like a stake or a rock, and it can be hard because there's like all this grass and these bushes. But one way that you can very easily clear it is by making a road. And you know what, we'll just go like here because I gotta extend this road eventually. Anyway, so what this works is like if I go like here, and even if we actually just go kind of like over here, we can kind of get rid of these bushes, and it just clears the area up really nice. Let's just go right here. That's gone. That's amazing. And this whole area is clear now. So what I would use this for is I would build roads like in the area that I would want to put a building in. Like if it was like right here, I'd build like a bunch of roads just like here. I know some people also use fields. That's totally possible too. I just like roads because for me it's just a little bit faster to like hit it. I don't know. It's just my preference. But fields I think also works. Although you tend to get in trouble with like trees and stuff with fields. But anyway, but basically, once that road is there, you are then, for one, it auto-deletes certain things. Like, it auto-deletes, like, the grass, it auto-deletes bushes. Some sticks and rocks can also auto-delete. And at the very least, if there's still, like, you know, like, rocks and stuff around, you see them a lot easier because you don't have grass and bushes hiding them. So you can pick it up, and that'll clear the area, and then you can very easily and very quickly put down the house. Obviously, you do need to delete the roads first. And, you know, you just do that with your hammer. You just delete the road, destroy the road. And then they'll get, like, grass that will come back, but the bushes won't come back, and, you know, stones and sticks won't come back either. At least not right then and there. Obviously, if you wait a few seasons, then it might start to grow back more. So it's definitely something that you want to do right when you're ready to build. Just quick put down roads, clear the area, destroy the roads, and then you can start building your building. And that just I just think that makes that a little faster rather than like trying to look through the bushes and find, you know, the whatever it is that's making it difficult so that you can't put down a foundation of some sort. So there's that's the little tip as well, and that's kind of like the 4 tips that I tend to follow. That makes, just for me anyway, that makes building easier, faster, and just, you know, a little bit more pleasant. If you guys have any other building tips, do let me know in the comments. You know, let everybody else, you know too, because you know what, we're all building. We all want to be builders, maybe potentially out there, maybe. Or at least make the building process easier if you don't like building. You know, whatever it is. But thanks so much for watching, guys. I will see you in the next one. Until then, keep surviving and keep thriving.